Hey everybody, what's going on? This is the first edition of Cook's Corner. I'll be giving you my 2020 MLB predictions. Now, this is kind of a weird year because, as we know, there's a global pandemic currently going on, and that makes things more strange than usual, to say the least. With that being said, there will be a 60-game MLB season, and it begins on Thursday with a great matchup. Max Scherzer and the defending champion Washington Nationals. They'll take on Garrett Cole and the New York Yankees. Like, come on, that's baseball at its best. Two aces going at each other. That's what we pay to see. I mean, we won't be paying to see anything this year, but you get the point of what I'm saying here. So let's get into this. Let's talk about what went down this offseason to get to where we are today, and then let's give some predictions, some division winners, some wild card winners, and let's just have a good overall time. Free agency and the New York Yankees go hand in hand in this offseason. It was no different with the Yankees signing the top pitcher on the market in Garrett Cole for 9 years and $324 million. Some would say Steven Strasburg might have been the guy, but he re-upped with the defending World Series champion Washington Nationals for 7 years and $245 million. And with the same contract, his former teammate Anthony Rendon signed with the Los Angeles Angels, 7 years, $245 million. Again, a lot of money being tossed around this offseason. Josh Donaldson, he moved from the Atlanta Braves over to Minnesota and signed with the Twins. Well, Zach Wheeler, he stayed in the division, moving from the New York Mets to the Philadelphia Phillies. Sticking with the NL East, the Braves stabilized their bullpen, adding veteran reliever Will Smith. And didn't stop there. They added Cole Hamels to their rotation as well. Their outfield got a big boost as well, adding slugger Marcell Ozuna to the mix there. Corey Kluber, he was dealt from the Cleveland Indians to the Texas Rangers. That should help their rotation over there. While Starling Marte, he was traded from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks made another move this offseason, signing veteran starting pitcher Madison Bumgarner. Moving over to the AL side of things, the Chicago White Sox, they dipped their toes into the free agent pond, signing left-handed pitcher Dallas Keuchel. They also signed catcher Yasmani Grandal, adding another bat to an already great lineup. Mookie Betts was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers from the Boston Red Sox alongside David Price, but Price won't be pitching this year. He used his opt-out clause because of the global pandemic. San Diego Padres acquired outfielder Tommy Pham from the Tampa Bay Rays. This will be Pham's third team in the last 3 seasons. Hyun-Jin Ryu signed with the Toronto Blue Jays, a 4-year deal, which should give the young Blue Jays some much-needed help at the top of their rotation. Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff. Let's talk predictions, and we'll start with the American League East. I expect the New York Yankees to win this division. I'm not going to say run away with it because that's just not going to happen with anyone this year in such a short season. But I expect the Yankees to win the American League East this year. It's too powerful of a lineup. You start at the top of the order with DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton. It's just too deep and too powerful. I don't expect many teams to contend with the Bronx Bombers, but we'll see what happens there. They added Garrett Cole to the mix. They got their ace. They already have a couple of solid guys in the middle of their rotation in James Paxton and J.A. Happ. And you also can't forget that they probably have the best bullpen in all of baseball with Aroldis Chapman and Zach Britton on their back end. I expect the Tampa Bay Rays to hold down that second spot in the American League East. They added some good additions this offseason in Jose Martinez from the St. Louis Cardinals, Hunter Renfroe from the San Diego Padres, and Yoshi Tsutsugo, a prized free agent Japanese star coming over from Japan. He averaged over 35 home runs a year in the last 4 seasons and should be a nice addition to their offense. The Rays just know how to do things well. They play a great brand of baseball. They know how to get on base. You throw in a couple of young stars like Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow to the mix. Those are 2 players they got from the Pittsburgh Pirates in a trade for Chris Archer. And it just seems like this team can finally get over that hump. They need that World Series to signify their spot in Tampa Bay, and I think this is a year where they could make a big run. Charlie Morton is a great arm in their rotation, as well as Blake Snell and the former mentioned Tyler Glasnow. It should be a really good rotation as well, and not to mention the Rays just have a knack for finding good bullpen arms, and I expect nothing less this season. And in the 3rd and 4th spots this year, I have the Boston Red Sox in 3rd and the Toronto Blue Jays in that 4th spot. The Boston Red Sox are an interesting team to watch this year. They obviously traded away their star outfielder Mookie Betts to the Los Angeles Dodgers, but they still have a really good core in Andrew Benintendi, Rafael Devers. They still have JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts. It's a good overall lineup. I like the addition of Alex Vertigo from the Dodgers. But I just don't think they have the pitching when your rotation is headlined by Nathan Eovaldi. I think that says everything it needs to say about what the Red Sox are going to do this year. Now you move over to the Toronto Blue Jays. I like this order as well. I like the lineup. I like the young kids there. Bo Bichette is going to be a superstar. Kevin Biggio is going to be a good young player for this Blue Jays team as well. And then, of course, you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who should play a big impact on this team as well. The biggest question mark is going to be that rotation again. They signed Ryu this offseason. That's a big top of the rotation addition. And you're going to have to keep an eye on young starting pitcher Nate Pearson for the Toronto Blue Jays this year. Will they let him start out of the gate, or will they push his service time back a bit? Regardless, within the first 10 days of the season, you should see the fireballer in action for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, I'm not even going to begin to mention the Baltimore Orioles, the last place team in this division. I don't think they have a shot this year, even in a 60-game season. I just don't see teams like that making any sort of run. But it is a 60-game season, so you never do know. Stranger things have happened, but I just don't see it. Sorry, fans. Now let's move over to the AL Central, where I have the Minnesota Twins being crowned division champions for the second year in a row. I just think this offense is too strong. They added Josh Donaldson to the mix, making it even stronger than it was the year before. But you look at this top 5 or 6 in their order: Max Kepler, Jorge Polanco, Nelson Cruz, Josh Donaldson now in that 4-hole, Eddie Rosario. It's just too strong. You have an ace in Jose Barrios, Jake Odorizzi in that rotation as well. They added Kenta Maeda and Rich Hill from Los Angeles this offseason. And I think this is a recipe of success this year for the Twins, and they'll find themselves back on top of the AL Central. Now, in that second spot in the AL Central, I have none other than the Chicago White Sox. This is a young team on the rise, and I really love some of the young pieces that they put together in this organization, specifically Yoan Moncada and Louis Robert. He is a very young, talented player and one of the best prospects in Major League Baseball. And then you look at their rotation and what they did this offseason. They added Dallas Keuchel, a veteran, to the mix, and they already had a headliner in Lucas Giolito. It sucks we won't get to see Michael Kopech, who opted out due to the coronavirus, but this is a team on the rise and one we should certainly pay attention to for the future. In third place in the AL Central, I have the Cleveland Indians. It's a team with a really good rotation. You have Shane Bieber, Mike Clevenger, and Carlos Carrasco as your top 3. That's going to compete, and that's going to play any day of the week. Pitching and defense is so key in Major League Baseball, and it seems that the Indians do have that. The biggest question mark around this team for me is whether or not they deal superstar shortstop Francisco Lindor. We've seen question marks about that this offseason, but we'll see if they're able to pull the trigger on a deal if the Indians aren't in contention. Now, I think this division is more of a 3-horse race. I don't see the Detroit Tigers or the Kansas City Royals making any noise this year, so we'll keep them out of the mix for now. But like I said, it's a 60-game season. You never know. The AL West is going to be one of baseball's most watched divisions this year, and it might not just be because of the product that is put on the field. The Houston Astros were involved in one of the biggest sign-stealing scandals in Major League Baseball history last year, and it'll be interesting to see the repercussions they face on and off the field this year as we take part in a 60-game season. The Houston Astros are still my pick to win the AL West. They're just too talented and too deep. The rotation headlined by Justin Verlander, Lance McCullers Jr. coming back from Tommy John surgery, and Zach Greinke is going to be a powerful trio, while their lineup of George Springer, Jose Altuve, Michael Brantley, Alex Bregman, it's just too deep and too strong. I just don't see any other way that the Houston Astros don't come away with the AL West this year. In the second spot in the AL West, I have the Oakland Athletics taking that spot. I like their rotation headlined by Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea, and Mike Fiers. And they have MVP candidates in their lineup, such as Marcus Semien and Matt Chapman. This is the team that's built really well, really soundly. They have guys from 1 to 9 that know how to get on base and know how to play baseball. This is a team that really could make some noise again this season, and is still one of the lowest budgeted teams in all of Major League Baseball. In the third spot in the American League West, I have the Los Angeles Angels, who went big name hunting this offseason, signing free agent superstar Anthony Rendon to a long-term contract. I think pairing him up with Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Justin Upton, and Shohei Ohtani in that lineup makes for a really, really deep order. And just the biggest question marks on this Angels team is, can they get the pitching? And I don't think that they can this year. Hence, I'm leaving them out of the playoff picture. In the 4th spot this year, I have the Texas Rangers, who have a nice trio in their rotation after adding Corey Kluber to the mix with Mike Minor and Lance Lynn. I just don't think they have the offensive firepower this year to get a spot in the postseason. And rounding things out, I have the Seattle Mariners in the cellar in the AL West this year. It's hard to be positive in Seattle right now, but hopefully better times are on the horizon. To wrap things up, I have the New York Yankees, the Minnesota Twins, and the Houston Astros as division winners. And then I have the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's as wild card winners this season. We're going to make this into a 2-part video. I decided this very last minute. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like this video. Part 2 will be tomorrow, and it'll be a preview of the National League. Thanks for watching, everyone. This was Cook's Corner.